Mm. Hi there, everybody. It is so nice to see you. Mm. I'm feeling a little just light and fluffy. The energy's getting a little bit lighter. Things are getting a little bit less intense here. Now it's going to change because we got the spring equinox coming. The good thing about the spring equinox is it does bring balance. It brings some semblance of balance. But hello, everybody. I am Michele Amburgey. I am a intuitive. I am an energy frequency healer. I'm a certified psychic medium. I'm a life coach. I'm a hypnotherapist, past life regression, light language. I am a new earth leader and a new earth mentor. And I do like a bazillion other things too, but I am here because I am Michele Amburgey, the Awakener, and I'm here to awaken it within myself and to help anybody else that wants to come on over and play and learn about awakening too. And something that we want to keep in mind, there's no one way to do it. It's a multi-dimensional, multi-frequency. It's very individual. It's very personal. And so what you want to do is just find your tribe. That's what people are always talking about, right? Find your tribe. And so it's so beautiful and it's so wonderful when you can just kind of find your groove, find the people you're comfortable with. I've got a lot of stuff going on. You can come over on YouTube. I am on a spiritual living tribe, and you can come on over and join us there. Over there, I share different things. I put up a lot of memes because they crack me up. I love, the humor and the joy and things. I put up, the classes and stuff that I'm up to too. The people that are members, they can come on over and they can share as well what they're up to. So it's a good place to come on board. I also have a membership site that you can come and be a member and get involved with. We've got weekly angel messages, monthly energy reports. We've got classes coming up. We've got meditations every week. You get discounts on private sessions with me. So it's a really good deal. So you can get that at micheleamburgey.com and go up to the top to the membership portal and check it out. And so while we're here, while we're doing the housekeeping, subscribe. I have some cool things that I want to do with you guys, but YouTube requires that I have like a minimum, I think 1,000 people before I can do kind of like the bells and whistles. So help me get 1,000 people. Help me get those numbers up there so I can bring you guys some more fun stuff. So we're going to chit chat a little bit today about energy frequencies. And you guys will crack up. I've got so many different decks of cards now to play with you in a bit when we do some mini readings, and they're all like, oh, they're all singing this morning or this afternoon. So, it's kind of fun. I'm a little distracted because I can feel that frequency going up, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We are talking about frequencies. We're talking about what is going on the planet, what is happening. And, I talk about this a lot because it's really important because it's affecting all of us in very subtle ways, but in very powerful ways. And I think it's important that we pay attention to how we're feeling, to what's going on, even like not just like, oh, this week I'm feeling that, but check in throughout the day to see how we're feeling. One of the things that's important to pay attention to is the thing that's called the Schumann Residence. And what it is it's a meter that follows Mother Earth's vibration. And because we live in this holographic mirror world where everything is reflecting everything else, that's a whole other show. But everything's reflecting everything else, as within, so without, as above, so below. What's happening on Mother Earth is also happening to us. What's happening on Mother Earth is always also happening in the cosmos. The sun is very much a part of what's happening on Mother Earth. And then it just resonates out through this entire universe and probably beyond. You know, we're just wrapping our minds around that we are actual residents, a part of a community in this beautiful, beautiful universe that we live in. You know, we've gotten so separated from everything, from ourselves, from our vast, you know, star families and everything. And that's part of this awakening. That's part of this great revealing, revelations, right? You getting it? Apocalypse is all about the unveiling. It's not the end of the world. It is a revealing. And that revealing is coming from within us. We're beginning to go, wait a minute. Maybe everything that I've been told, everything I've been taught, everything that I've been shown, maybe there's more. Maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe this is just one view. And if I just change my perception a little bit, just change my view a little bit, I could see something else, maybe something I've never heard of. So part of what is required during this time of great revealing is a little bit of an adventurous spirit. And, you know, what's going on in the world, that's not what is being shown to us, right? It's like fear, be afraid, be very afraid. Let's not do that. Let's not join in on that. We don't need that. We need that adventurous spirit to begin to look into things that used to be conspiracy theories, right? Things that used to be thought of as myth and lore, and the things that have moved into the mist. You know, maybe we should start looking at things that we've heard about that, you know, then we've been told, oh, those were just stories, like dragons, unicorns. You know, there's way too much information about dragons for it to be a story. There's way too much icons, even within our religious systems, about unicorns for it to be a story. I mean, there are tapestries, old tapestries from like the 800s to 900s that depict Mother Mary sitting in a garden with a unicorn in her lap. You know, it's like over in England, Wales, I think Scotland too. I didn't make it to Scotland when I was over there, but there's dragon and lion. We still got lions and unicorn iconography everywhere. You know, why would creatures that never existed have such an impact on these ancient cultures? I'm saying, no, there is something to this. And these are some of the things that we can start waking up to and exploring. You know, there's a lot more to us. Something else I just want to share with you guys that I've been learning more about is this culture called the Tartarians. They were a very advanced group of people, and they were here for thousands of years, but it's kind of like they've just been wiped off the map. And you can actually find them in old ancient maps. And some of those old ancient maps show Tartaria, this advanced culture that had electricity and running water and beautiful, magnificent buildings thousands of years ago. Electricity. So it's kind of like, wait a minute. And why did they get wiped off? But it showed them that this Tartaria was kind of like the eastern side of kind of what's Russia, right? And where it comes into Alaska through that Bering Strait as this beautiful little landmass that was there. And there are maps that show that, old sailors maps and that kind of stuff. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on? They have found archaeological remnants of stuff actually on the Russian side, but nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. And part of that is there was something, maybe the Tartarians had technology and stuff that would really help humanity advance. And those who didn't want that, maybe the more the warring factions, I don't know. But maybe there was a reason that it was wiped off the map. And the other thing is, you know, Lemuria was also known as being maybe there in the Pacific, Atlantis in the Atlantic, Lemuria in the Pacific. There are some maps that show California, like the middle of California and south, even part of Baja, Mexico is part of Lemuria. Hawaii may be part of Lemuria. So we don't know. There's so many things we don't know. And that's why these days it's really important to open up and kind of revisit some of these things that we've been told, oh, they're just story. Oh, that's just imagination. There's a lot more going on than we are aware of. There just is. And it's fun to start exploring that. And I love exploring it. And so today we're just going to talk about like frequencies and upgrades and that kind of stuff, because we're all getting them. And whether you're like in it and on it and paying attention to it, or if you're just kind of receiving just from being here, it's a freebie for all. It's important to kind of know, because there is a lot of energy that is helping us to kind of purge the veils of illusion, purge the veils of unknowing. And I'm seeing with people that are coming to me, talking to other healers such as myself, that people are like waking up and they don't know what to do. Because when you start waking up to the fact that maybe there was a Tartaria, maybe there really was a Lemuria, oh, maybe there really was Atlantis, maybe all of this stuff is real. When people start opening up, it can be very jarring. And it can kind of destabilize your energy and even your mental capacity. I've been doing some research on certain kind of consciousness raising things, including like out of body experiences and lucid dreaming and stuff like that, and really looking into it. And my mind needs to be adjusting to these concepts of like leaving the body consciously and being able to move about, the world in consciousness. And I know that it's part of the next phase of technology, because I know that aliens and spacecraft, oftentimes their consciousness and their spacecrafts join together and they become one. And that's how they can zip really fast. They can go from, millions of miles. We see them and they just disappear. They can show themselves and be like, murr, 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 murr. It's not the only way they fly, but it's one of the ways that they fly. And so it's like, oh my God, there's so many things. And we're getting help to open. But I know with me, I need to take a little break. I need to take a little breather and just kind of let my brain like absorb and kind of adjust, to new information and new awakenings. So first of all, what I want to do, I'm going to check and see if we've got anybody here, because I know I'm doing this live. Also, just for anybody who is watching, I do this live, and I just started doing it again just only a few weeks ago, but I'm doing this every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are, it'd be 7 p.m. in the UK, or in the Eastern, it'd be in the middle of the night, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, midnight in the UK, but I got a lot of my UK buddies too. And so this is going to be something that I'm doing regularly. The recordings of it will be on my YouTube channel. And so I'm trying to get more stuff out there. I'm going to start up the Intergalactic Angel Messenger too. A lot of people like talking about the space stuff and the intergalactic and star seeds and, all of our star family. There's just so much that we haven't been told. And I look at like what we learn in school and elementary school and all the history and stuff. And, we should be teaching the fact that we're part of an intergalactic community, that we come from the stars, that our families live on Jupiter, that aliens are real and they're not all here to kill us. There's just so much. And I just have just an itty bitty view of it. But it's super exciting because, when you think about it, our world as it is pretty darn awesome. I mean, Mother Earth is gorgeous. Mother Earth is so beautiful. And we're so blessed to be a part of it. We're so blessed to be a part of this world that, Mother Earth supplies us with everything we have, no matter how man-made it looks. These came from Mother Earth. This, my new $150,000 phone. I would take out a mortgage to buy a phone these days. But, your new phone, that all came from Mother Earth. We live in this beautiful earth that gives us everything we need, everything we need. And it's so beautiful. But we spend so much of our time here struggling. We spend so much of our time here worrying about not having. And part of that is by design, by certain people that are here. But you know what? When we look at everything that we're going through, everything that has happened as part of the divine plan, as part of how it's supposed to be, as part of our own plan, since we're all connected, we all communicate as above, so below, that maybe we've designed it this way because we weren't getting up off our butt. Maybe we were getting lost in the wake up, have breakfast, kiss the kids, go to work, come home, eat dinner, watch a little Netflix, kiss the kids, go to bed. Maybe there's more. Maybe life is greater and grander than that. And I think part of this whole pandemic thing gave a lot of people an opportunity to unplug and to kind of find themselves. I really feel like, as traumatizing, and don't get me wrong, I am not minimizing the trauma of this whole thing, but I always like to look at things from different perspectives to try to find the positive, the lesson, the divine God, goddess, creator essence and everything too. Because I do truly believe that everything that we go through is following part of a divine plan, even the parts that we don't like, even the parts that are horrifying, even the parts that are 2020, 2021, right? The crazy stuff. It all has a divine plan. And maybe that divine plan is making us realize that we are beautiful, sacred beings, and that there is so much more, not only to our world than we've been taught, but that we're part of this greater community and that there's so much more there. I mean, how cool would it be if truth were truly revealed? And I did a show last week with my darling friend, Sharon Kumara, and we did Sharon Sananda Kumara, sorry. And we did a talk about that we are the disclosure, that everything that is truth and everything that is real and everything that's been hidden is beginning to be revealed. And it's rising up from us as we awaken and become more conscious. People meditating all the time. There was a meditation, I don't remember when it was, where there was like 1 million children all meditating at the same time. And it may have been within the monks. So it may have been adults and children, but I know that there were a lot of children that were involved. But they did some research on it. They were doing all different kinds of tests and stuff. And they're saying that it affected the world. It affected everything. They're saying that crime went down, illness went down, hospital visits went down, domestic violence went down. They were saying that there was something else that was like kind of a big thing. Gosh darn it, I can't remember what it was. This is what happens when I go on the fly, don't take notes, but that's how Archangel Michael tells me to do it. But anyways, it affected everything. Can you imagine? We have a lot of people on this planet that meditate as a regular practice anyways. You do, right? If you're watching the show, I've been telling you, pray and meditate. But, we're affecting everybody. We're affecting everything. And we are moving in a positive direction. There is a divine plan. And sometimes us humans, and maybe we know this somewhere deep inside us, that we need to get really squeezed before we make some moves. And we need to get into a lot of pain before we make some changes. And maybe that's what's happening. Maybe what's going on is reflecting an inner turmoil that we need to address from within us. And the very first thing is forgiveness. We are set up to such standards. We are set up to such um, a way of living and a way of being and a way of looking and how much money and all that, that it's really impossible to ever live up to. You know, how many people actually look like the model and make that much money and live in the beautiful house and have all the fancy clothes and the handsome husband and the perfect children that go to the perfect school and drive the perfect car and, you know, are famous and are happy and are, and, you know, it's like, no, because it's not real. It's not real. It's something that is put up there to entertain us and maybe distract us from becoming who we are, putting our ideals and our goals as something that's outside of us, instead of saying, hey, you know what? I might not look like that. I might not have that much money. I might not live in that house. I might not drive that car. I may not have that yummy, delicious husband. I may not have those perfect kids, but you want to know what? I'm pretty freaking awesome how I am. And learning to be in yourself and understand that so often the mistakes that you made were made because you were trying. You were putting an effort in. You were trying. So often, many of the mistakes that you made were made because you were given wrong information. You were misled. You maybe misunderstood. Sometimes that happens too. But this earthly plane is not about being perfect. This earthly plane is about learning and growing and awakening. It really is. And I'm sure it's happening in other places. But since we only know about Earth so far, we know it's happening here. And so it's so beautiful and so powerful that we live in a time frame when we have these opportunities to really, really grow. And in this time frame, we are being offered frequencies, a lot of them coming from the sun. There is so much activity on the sun. And you hear people talk about codes and encoding from the sun, and it literally is. It is energetic codes. Now, a lot of people think of it as like writing or angelic language or codes like E equals MC squared or something like that. But it's light codes, which are frequencies. There's no transition or translation. Like I couldn't say, oh, this code means, you know, your hair is going to grow back. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not codes like that. It's awakening codes that are helping us to remember who we are. It is light because we are created from light. And is also the frequency of love, and not egoic love, but agape love, God love. It is those frequencies that we are created from. And excuse me, I need to adjust my chair. That's what we're created from. And so we're receiving that from the sun, from the great central sun, from the worlds within the sun, and interplanetary, and from star systems and our star family too. You know, we're very connected here on this planet to the Pleiades, to the Arcturians. We're also very, very connected to like the Venusians, Jupiterians. Of course, when all of that, you know, there's good and there's bad and everything, just like here on Earth, you know, there's light and dark. But these frequencies that are coming in are helping us to remember who we are. They're helping us to remember the light and the love that is our divine nature. And we even have aspects within our body that are made out of these frequencies. Our DNA is one of them. You know, we see these depictions of the spiral ladder, you know, of DNA, which is absolutely fabulous and wonderful. But do we actually have these little itsy bitsy teeny tiny ladders within us? Or is that kind of a metaphoric explanation? Do we really know? You know, is it something that was the best way to describe it to us? Do we really know? But we do know we're made of light and love, because every spiritual text we have available to us says so. And many that we don't necessarily have available, but is out there a little bit. So maybe is that part of the reason why these great places like the Library of Alexandria was destroyed at one point, because there was so much information that told us who we were, that if we knew who we were, we wouldn't need religious institutions. We wouldn't need even politicians. If we knew who we were, we wouldn't need medical. We wouldn't need anything. We'd be living in harmony. We'd be living in harmony. And that is what this great awakening is awakening to who we really are and becoming that, becoming that. And we're all doing it anyways. We can go kicking and screaming. We can go stumbling and bumbling. Both those ways take a little bit more. I'm feeling like I'm stumbling and bumbling a lot of the time, and sometimes we can just go gracefully and just say, fine, I will pray and meditate every day, but only 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. But you know what? That's enough, because that's a start. If you're doing that, kudos to you. That's awesome. That's super awesome. So I just wanted to talk about that because, we hear so much about it and it's so exciting. And I love the younger generations and these young star seeds and old star seeds. I'm an old star seed. But it's so fun because, man, they know what they're talking about, and they got the light language and the light coding and art and all these fantastic things that they're sharing. Excuse me. And it's really, really fun. I just love seeing it. There's so much, keep your mind on the good, keep your mind on that which uplifts you, and turn off the freaking TV. Turn off the TV, please. Please. It's draining anymore. And, I'm going to say this, there's TVs are portals. That's what I'm going to say. TVs are portals. And so you want to keep them off. And I'm going to say, I love my Netflix rom-coms. I'm not saying you have to be 100%, but don't have it on all day long. Don't let it be your main source, limit yourself to a little bit what you like, and then read a book, or watch YouTube even. There's a lot of stuff. Look up Tartaria in the YouTubes, or Tartarians. Ooh, lots. And the other thing is giants. I'm going way off topic, but I don't care. I want to talk about this. There used to be giants. I remember when I was young, I lived in Northern California, and I remember hearing about finding giants' bones, like giants that were not 12 feet tall, but like 20 feet tall. And then all of a sudden it all kind of disappeared. You didn't hear about it. Well, that information is starting to come out because it freaked some people out. And all that information was hidden, and it's starting to come out. And they have skulls that are like huge. They're like 6 feet. Those were some really big things. If we were to go and say, maybe giants do exist, and maybe it explains how some of the massive buildings, pyramids, temples, all that, those ancient buildings, maybe it explains how they were built. When we don't have technology today to actually build the Great Pyramid as it's built, maybe the giants helped, right? Maybe there were giants. There's so many buildings with these massive doorways and, 12, 15-foot steps walking up to them. Why? It's not like somebody said, I'm going to make something that a normal human can't get into. Maybe it was the giants. If anybody's heard of Petra in the valleys, hidden away somewhere, wouldn't that be a place a giant would want to go? Especially if they were being singled out, because we don't have them anymore. What happened to the giants? There's so many things that have been lost into lore and mystery that information's coming out. Thank God for the technology. It's like I curse it with one hand and bless it with the other. Because it's fun and it's wonderful. We have access to so much, but there's other aspects of it too. But we're living in a great time. There's so much to what we're doing here, what we're living here, who we are. And I'm just going to keep preaching it from my little office here in Southern California and hope that everybody jumps on board and comes and plays with me, because there's so much fun. There's so much fun. And yeah, there's trials, but things are lightening up. And that's just another thing I just wanted to say. We're going to find the energy getting lighter. We've got spring coming in. We've got a full moon. Let me look at my calendar. We've got a full moon coming up that weekend before Easter. I think we got another one before that, though. We've got St. Patrick's Day. When is that not happy? We got spring opening up. I'm trying to see. I thought we had a full moon. We got a new moon coming up, and then we have the full moon on Easter. So, and I love Easter. Easter is always my favorite because Easter is about the ascension. It's about the resurrection. It's about the human becoming the God man that it naturally is. And so this is such a great season for us. If we, if you move through it with your religious traditions, which I do, and move through it with the metaphysical traditions, which I also do, and move through it with the inner knowing spiritual understanding, which I do, we can do all of it. We don't have to choose one and stick with it. We can do it all because they all have bits and pieces. But this time of year is powerful with spring and Easter and ascension and growth, and the world's coming back to life. Use this energy. Use this energy because it's awesome. So very, very cool. Let's check and see if we have anybody watching. I know I had a lot of people were saying, we always forget. So I'm trying to make sure that I let you guys know when I'm on. But whether I'm on, we're going to do Lemuria cards. So I'm always on Tuesdays now. This is new. I used to be on Tuesdays. I stopped doing it for a while, and now we're back. And we want to use these oracle cards really quick. Beyond Lemuria. Excuse me, I got itchy nose. And they're made by Izzy Ivy, and they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. And so we're going to use them. And I'm going to pull some cards and just do a few readings for everybody. Because what we do here in Spiritual Chit Chat is we chit chat about some stuff. If anybody ever has anything or any questions or any topics they'd like me to visit, always let me know, because sometimes I have a hard time coming up with anything. Hey, Dana, thank you so much for being here, honey. Woohoo. Oh, thank you. I love this pink top. I just, it's so funny. I did laundry the other day, Dana, and, usually I just do a few things at a time, but I didn't get it done. And so I did a whole bunch. And the rainbow of my clothing was black and then pink and blue. So my goal, hey, Brandy. So my goal this spring in buying some new clothes is to get some new colors and maybe some yellows, maybe some greens. I crack myself up. I'm such a creature of habit. So if you guys have a question, oh, thank you, Brandy. So if you guys have a question you'd like to ask that you'd like to get an answer for, please go ahead and put it in there. Archangel Michael always says that if you are ready to hear the answer, you'll be able to formulate the question, or if you formulate the question, you're ready to hear the answer. And he says that because a lot of times people are like, give me a card. And I can just hear him go, oh, because a lot of times he's like going, oh my God, I'm here. I'm an archangel, people. I'm an archangel and I'm hearing you. I'm here for you. Ask your deepest, desires. Ask the things that you really want to ask. Oh my gosh. Guys, I have been doing a lot of herbal teas lately. I'm feeling so much better. With my giant jar. I love my giant jar. And also another thing that I'm doing too, if you guys haven't heard of this, it's from a company that's called Vibes Up, and it's got all the crystals in the bottom. Can you guys see that? Boop, boop, boop. And so they're so good. And this one is, it's made to look like a redwood tree. I love redwood trees. One of my guides is actually a redwood tree. So, oh yeah, good. You can see that. You can see the stones. It makes a difference. It's frequency. Anything that we can do to help ourselves raise our frequency right now is super important. Essential oils are wonderful. I also use plant essences from a company called Medicine. I think it's called Medicine Bowl. And I've got a whole set of the Ascended Master ones. And what I'll do is every morning and then at evening, before I do my prayer meditations, I will just kind of randomly just allow myself to pick one. I'll work with that essence at the time. And it's like, they're amazing. I'll bring some in next time, show you guys what they look like and how to use them. Crystals, wearing them on your body, putting them in your pocket, sticking them in your bra, having them by your bed, putting them wherever you need them, all over your house is fantastic. I want to show you too this little thing. Whoops. I'm moving my computer. This also is from Vibes Up. And it's this cool little wiggly thing, but it's full of crystals and all kinds of good stuff. Super grounding, protects you somewhat from EMFs. And in it too, like I'll put it over my heart or I'll put it over my belly. It's very calming. It helps your body begin to reach a balance point. Some people call it 0 point, where it's like there's just neutrality to where your body can start operating again. You know, we live in this world where everything is a pendulum swing, you know, and it's like, and this helps that pendulum to settle down. And it's all wobbly. It's kind of cool. You can put these, a lot of people put them under their bed, either in their mattress, or they put them like actually their bedpost on the ground. It'll help ground the bed out. It's just, it's so amazing. And I don't want to say the wrong things about it because I work with two different things. I also work with these tools that are all crystals and everything. And here's selenite, Marian crystals. I'm all about this. Want to know what? I've got it all over my house, and it's really easy for me to forget I have all these tools. And I was kind of doing that and I wasn't feeling so good. And so I started using my stuff, feeling way better, taking care of things. So let's see. Yes. So Dana is saying, may I ask about a direction for my art? Vega, no. Okay, you're going to get an Archangel Michael answer. I'm going to pull it for you too, Dana. He's already laughing. He goes, are you ready? Yeah. So Dana. Okay, so here's Archangel Michael's just answer to you, Dana, because you addressed him first too. Is he said, he goes, the direction for your art, my dear, is forward. And that's from Archangel Michael. Now I want to show you what the cards that came up, which is really cool. And that's why I pulled them because I love it. He's like, go forward. This card is the card of water. It's the card of overflow. And this card is so beautiful. Dana, I feel like part of the message for you is your art is very important. Your art is very, very important. It's part of a greater picture. And this is telling me it's really, really important that you come from overflow, that you don't be trying to meet an expectation or a demand. Even I'm feeling the word demand coming through when you're not feeling it. Your art is important because it brings through frequencies onto the planet, and it's healing you. It's healing you. And I understand that because I've started painting recently, and I'm never, gonna, or well, never say never, he just said. I probably will never be somebody who sells my art, but I love it. And I am very aware that when I'm doing my artwork, when I'm being in that creative space, and I'm really open to let spirit run through, that all of that is going on to the artwork. All of those frequencies are going there. And then when that art sits there, it's like radiating this beautiful energy. And Archangel Michael is like, this is the primary reason for your artwork, is awakened awareness. It's awakened awareness. Isn't that beautiful? And this is a card. It's the number 17, which is an 8. This tells me that there is abundance in your artwork. There is abundance in your artwork. And it's almost like get out of your own way, because this is where you're supposed to be living, beyond the mind. This is the question that you're really asking. What is the direction for your art? Beyond the mind. And just feel the frequencies from this. Ooh. Feel the energy as it just starts to pour through YouTube, blessing YouTube all over the place and right into your living space, right into your awesomeness, Dana, beyond the mind. And it's funny because this is a number 20. So we're working with that number 2 right now, this whole year. Another thing that I really want to say to you, Dana, is that your artwork is more important than you even know. Your artwork is more important than you know, because there's people who will see it that are not your target market, if you will, who are going to be blessed and have been blessed by it. And, I'm not sure exactly what it is that you do, but I feel a great upwelling that happens through what it is that you're doing, like an upwelling of energies. And, that's part of the activations that are happening too. Music, art, singing, any kind of creative task is spirit moving. And when we're doing that, which is beautiful and productive and uplifting and bringing happiness in whatever form onto the planet, that is God, Goddess, Creator in motion through us. And that's what we're doing here. That's why we're here. Because when we do that, we are awake, And a lot of times we don't, we awaken to what's going on in the world, the truths and untruths. But really what it is, the awakening is about what's happening within us and remembering who we are. And then we'll be able to break out of this matrix of limitation. We're not meant to be limited. We created it. Now we're going to break out of it. I was told in a beautiful experience that we are the creation and we are the creator, and this great being in this wonderful meditation said, you are the creator and you are the creation. You are all of it. And all I was a great big huge Buddha sitting Buddha style in this, just stars everywhere. And it's like, this is your matrix. You created it. Are you having fun? If you're not, change it. Right. And so it's like, oh, okay, we're changing. We're trying to change, but it isn't changed with outward focus. It's changed with inward focus. And Dana, you're an artist. You know what that means. That's Archangel Michael is saying too. So thank you for asking that. Thank you for asking that. It's so cool. And the more people we have, oh, you're welcome, honey. The more people we have that are working in their creative faculties, the faster the world awakens too. If you look at, like at the end of the dark ages, when people were just like coming out, just crawling out of the dark ages, there was this huge resurgence of art and music, the Renaissance, right? Because humanity needed that to heal. And I'm seeing it again. I'm seeing it again. I'm feeling it in my own life because I haven't painted in like 10 or 15 years. And I only did it for a couple of years. And then before that had been another 10 or 15 years. And it's interesting because it's wanting to flow. People are picking up their guitars that they haven't picked up in 20 years. It's kind of cool. And it's, we're having a little renaissance. And so that's really cool, whatever way. And, creativity comes through other ways too. The way you rock a child to sleep, cooking, if you're into cooking, into gardening, whatever just allows you to be in that space of absolute peace and bliss. That's what it is. I have a lot of friends that are really into their horses and their animals, and that's where their peace and bliss is. And it's perfect. It's perfect. It's all a part of it. And it's that reconnection to that, which is oftentimes called God, Goddess, Creator. I always like to add that on there. That's where 0 point is. That's where our heart and soul is. That's where the important stuff is. And it's getting there and learning to keep yourself there too. That's the hard part, right? That's the hard part. So I've got somebody who's going to be watching this later. This reading is for you. I just got a really strong pull, and I feel like there is an F in the name, either first name, last name, or a sound, kind of a sound. I kind of almost want to say Jeff, but I don't think that's the whole thing. And you may also have something that is an F that is, I know it sounds weird, that is kind of highlighted in your questioning. So this card is for you, whoever you are, F. Ooh, third eye chakra. Pineal perspective. This is so cool. And what I'm getting with this for you is you're seeing it right. You're seeing it right. You're not wrong. You're seeing it right. You have always been kind of psychically in tuned, or attuned, in tune. And I feel like there's either something going on, someone told you you're wrong, you've kind of backed off from what you know, and you're seeing it right. Don't be afraid. You're seeing it right. Yeah, it's like Archangel Michael keeps saying, you're not doing it wrong. You're not doing it wrong. Oh, I got the overflow. Got the overflow. And this card is for you too. This card is for you too. You are home. Archangel Michael is saying, you are home. Wherever you are is home. And as long as you're always trying to get out there to go home, you're never going to find your true home within yourself. Yes, you are a starseed. Yes, you are. He's using the word spaceman, or a starman. But he's saying that wherever you are is home. And this is a concept that will help you to feel more comfortable in your body, and in your life. And in your life, you can create that life however you want it, but you got to make you home. You can't keep trying to be out there and manifest everything. You got to be home within yourself. And then the other card that came up that wants to be the finish is the water. We've got the card of overflow again. You have so much energy flowing through you. And you have so much knowledge. You came here with so much knowledge. Remember that you're in a world that is just waking up now. It's going to be difficult to find people like, oh my God, you're so right. The other day I had the same experience. It's difficult right now because there's not many people that are having the experiences, or people that even remember or know how to process it, that they can bring it up from recall. Okay. And so don't get discouraged. There's lots of us out here and we're all finding each other. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind open, be in the flow, let that energy, that knowledge, that wisdom flow through you and bring it out in some way. Maybe you need to start doing some art, writing, music, poetry, a way to express this energy as it flows through you. Maybe dancing too. I'm seeing dancing as well. And I'm also getting, don't be alone. Don't be alone. Don't be alone. If you're looking for a place to just kind of plug in and at least have awakened people around, come over to Facebook and join my Soulful Living Tribe. At least you'll get a daily dose of hugs and kisses and silliness, because I like to bring that to everything that I do. So thank you guys. Thank you all so much for being here, for listening. I know a lot of people listen afterwards. And make sure that you subscribe. Let's get Michelle up to 1,000 subscribers so that I can start doing more stuff for you guys. There's just more bells and whistles. I don't totally understand what it is, but it was like, you got to get 1,000 subscribers. And I think I'm at like 150, which is awesome. I so appreciate that, that you guys are being here and being a part of this. It's so cool. And so I'm here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And I got all kinds of other stuff going on too. So you can find me on micheleamburgey.com. You can check out my membership site. Go check out micheleamburgey.com. I got a calendar on there. I do private sessions for people. You get readings and healing. If you're looking for, some really digging deep, I got some coaching programs in there. If you're really looking for spiritual awakening, I have a Awaken to Your Divine Flow program where we can really get in and do the spiritual thing. And there's so much stuff here on YouTube. And, if you have questions, get a hold of me. Let me know what you're thinking. So I love you guys. A million I love yous to each and every one of you. And thank you for being here, Dana and Brandy. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you to everybody who's listening later as well. You guys are just as important as those people that are here. And a lot of blessings to you. A lot of blessings to you. We're in such exciting times. Get out in the sun. Let those sun codes hit you directly. You get them either way, but let them hit you directly. Spring is coming. It's kind of funny. It's like I want to go tweet. I've been noticing all of the birdies and stuff lately, and my kitty cat is just like he can't get out in the morning early enough because the tweets are just making him crazy. He's jumping around, trying to jump out the windows. So blessings to everybody. I love you guys. We'll see you next week, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific. And have a great week and come over and check stuff out. I do all kinds of stuff. So bon voyage.